First thing we're going to show you is the FGX Virtual Mastering Processor. So during the mastering stage, usually three things occur. You usually put a little overall equalization on the mix, you usually compress the mix a little bit, and then at some point you have to make the mix louder. A typical mix has an RMS level of about -18, -16. By the way, RMS is one way that we can measure loudness. It's a meter that a lot of mastering engineers use. Now, a master mix has an RMS level of about -10 to -8. So somewhere along the line, you need to get about 8 dB of gain in order to reach what they would call a commercial master level. Typically, the tools to do this level maximization is a peak limiter. A peak limiter is a brick wall limiter with an extremely high ratio that does not let transients through its ceiling. What it does is attenuates the transients, but it's also known for taking away the punch, taking away the dynamics, and creating an overall lifeless, squashed sound, which is why people think of loud as bad, which is why we call it the loudness wars and not the loudness parties. And what we came up with is the FG level, which is part of our FGX virtual mastering processor. The FG level uses a proprietary new algorithm called ITP. ITP stands for Intelligent Transient Preservation. What it does is, rather than attenuate peaks, it absorbs them with optimized saturation curves. Let me explain that. When the processor foresees a snare drum, it creates an optimized saturation curve to allow the upper mid-range energy of the snare drum pass through. When it sees a kick drum, it optimizes a saturation curve to let in the best low-end punch and energy, overall making the loudness processing very transparent. Let's take a listen to a mix with no processing on this. This is just the raw mix. And try to pay careful attention to the dynamics, the punch, the kick, the snare, the life of the mix, because that's what we're going to try to preserve during the loudness processing. So here we go, just the mix. So you can hear that mix. The mix has a lot of punch, it has dynamics. It's got a big larger than life sound. And we want to keep that in our master. So if you looked at our meters here, that mix was around here. If you watch the meters here. So you can see that RMS level is about -16, which is pretty typical for an average mix. So we want to get it to over here. We want to get it to -10 RMS. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 8 dB of gain with the FG level processor. Again, that uses the ITP algorithm for level maximization. Let's take a listen now with 8 dB of gain. Now for this demonstration, we're going to hit this button right here. It's called constant gain monitoring. What that means is that although we're increasing the mix's level by 8 dB, we're going to attenuate the output also by 8 dB so we can easily compare the mix and the master without the loudness interfering. Does everyone understand that? Okay, fantastic. So again, constant gain monitoring, 8 dB. Let's take a listen to this same mix. Notice the RMS levels are now at -10. You can see on the chorus we were peaking at -8.9 RMS. This is a very comfortable master. So, what would it sound like if we A/B just the original mix and the loudness, the mastered mix? Let's take a listen. We're going to A/B right now. So when you see this button unengaged, it's the mix. When you see it light up with blue, that's the master. Let's take a listen. Let's go back to that verse. Master. Mix. take it back again first. So this is the mix. I can see your eyes bright as the sun. And we're gonna switch to master. Master. Notice the snare is still there, the kick is still punching. It does not have that typically squashed and lifeless sound that we're so used to hearing on modern masters. As you can hear, even though we're increasing this mix by 8 dB, we're not sacrificing the punch, we're not sacrificing the dynamics, we're not sacrificing the life, we're not giving it that typically squashed sound. Now let's go over the other functions of the FGX. The FGX has a section here called transients. Transients allows you to modify the low punch of the overall mix and the upper mid-range punch of the mix. So take a listen as I increase and decrease the low punch parameter. You're gonna hear that kick come out. And nothing. So what you can do is really customize the transients of your mix during the mastering process. Let's take a listen to detail. Now detail is going to make the snare drum pop out more. It's going to alter the high-end and upper mid-range transients. Let's take a listen to detail. So I'm cranking here so you can really hear that snare come out. There's nothing. There's the snare again. So we'll keep that about there, we'll keep that there. The last parameter is called dynamic perception. This is a really cool algorithm that basically, it simulates more dynamic energy in the master mixes. It basically cures that kind of fatiguing, lifeless squash sound that you hear so much in modern masters. So take a listen to dynamic perception. Listen to the overall life and dynamics of the master come out more. Here we go. Keep that about there. Now I'm going to turn off constant gain monitoring. You can see we're at -10, -11. This is a healthy, loud master. Again, notice the punch is still there. It doesn't sound squashed or lifeless. Here we go again. Now, what would this mix sound like if we mastered it with the typical tools that mastered engineers currently use, which is a peak limiter? I copied the track over here in Cubase. And on this channel, we have one of the industry standard peak limiters that's used in mastering studios all over the world. We're going to do an A-B. First, we're going to start off with the FGX. I can see your eyes bright as the sun. And limiter. Such a way to make my senses run. FGX. Listen to all the extra punch. Limiter. Listen to the limiter on the chorus. Sound familiar? That typical squash master. FGX. Limiter. You can hear with the limiter, all the dynamics are gone. The snare drum is just gone. Listen to it again.